And I don't believe there was as much respect between the two of us first time round, because, you know, for me, people have got to earn my respect, and I respect him now. We went toe to toe, and he showed that he was a way better fighter than I believe going into that fight. So this time round, you know, it's all about the fight. You know, first time round, people wasn't really sure about the fight, and it was basically us sort of locking horns and throwing crazy verbals at each other the whole way. People found it quite entertaining. This time round, people know it's going to be a great fight. Everybody.
We're going to stop it right there before he starts to talk about the injury. If you don't know what's happening, damn, I done forgot the date. Oh, May the 5th, 2018. Now, both of these guys haven't fought since March of 2017. And right now, as you don't know, or if you don't know, it's January the 8th, 2017, 2018. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. And this is still a big fight, even though it won't be happening for 12 months. No, excuse me, 14 months after the first one. Now, this benefits David Haye because David Haye had a very, very bad injury, the type of injury that basketball players or football players get, where it puts them out for the whole season, meaning that they will be out for legitimately a year. So when we first heard this fight was happening, I'm thinking, well, he fought in March and now December. You know, with an injury like that, why are they, you know, rushing back? It just spelled bad news. But, of course, I think it's, you know, common knowledge right now among boxing fans, and they even had a very crazy-ass press build-up to the first fight where pretty much Tony Bellew was like, listen, the only reason why you took this fight because you think you can knock me out because, what does they call it over there in the UK, which I call it, on the skid? You're saying, like, saying David Haye was broke, you know, you live in the nightclubs and all that shit. Tony Bellew was slaughtering him. So, another thing of common knowledge is you should know, if you know David Haye and you've watched him over the years like I have, don't never let David Haye walk up on you. And also, if you talk shit, expect for him to sock the shit out you when he see you. So when it comes to a face-off or some shit, or if you think you're going to walk up on David Haye, if he mad at you, he will punch the shit out you in your face. You know, so of course that went down in the first fight. I could show a clip real quick, but I don't really feel like looking it up. Of course that went down, but this press conference was nice, you know, and smooth and relaxed because for one, both of them, you know, Tony Bellew, you know, is now somewhat of a star, right? Tony Bellew's stock has risen so much since he lost to Adonis Stevenson years ago. You know, now he's a legitimate name, even though he may not be looked at as a threat to guys like Anthony Joshua, even though he said he wouldn't fight him. He may not be looked at as too much of a threat to guys like Deontay Wilder, but he does have some money behind him now, you know? And that David Haye fight, even though I do feel that if David Haye didn't get injured, he would have won. However, Tony Bellew, in fact, you know, please subscribe. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to watch a little bit more of this. We're going to talk about it all.
We went to the O2 Arena. Everybody who watched on the Sky box office all got an absolutely cracking night of entertainment. And everybody who watched that time will definitely come back and watch it again.
They will. They definitely will. And obviously, you did have a pretty terrible injury in the first fight. Some fighters might have decided, actually, even then, just to call it a day. What made you go through rehab and then come back and do it all over again?
I said the moment the fight was over, let's do it again. You know, I said I'll go up to Liverpool, you know, to Goodison Park and fight in his home football stadium, or, you know, Echo Arena in Liverpool. But, you know, fortunately, Bellew likes a bit of the dough, and he decided to come down to London in my hometown and do it in the O2 Arena because it makes more money there. So thank you very much. I'm going to get this rematch, this big rematch, in my hometown. I was anticipating having to go to Liverpool, but, you know, thank you, Tony Bellew.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
Do a lot of people think that, still think that, okay, well, here was the theory that was floating around out there before, is that, let's go look at it.
On Sky.
Let's go look at it. We'll go full screen. Nah, we can do it right here. 28-3, 26 KOs. 37 years old. Last two fights against Tony Bellew. Arnold Grozjak. I forgot how to pronounce this guy's name, even though I covered the fight. Mark Demore. Now, before that, he had this nearly 4-year layoff here between. Oh, I can't see it. Let me just zoom in. Let me just do it this way. And let me back up. There we go. You know, as you can see, you know, he had this layoff between Derek Chisora and Mark DeMore. This Mark DeMore fight was basically one of those, it was his comeback fight. He was supposed to look good, you know, and basically this was a fight, from my understanding, that was to pay off some debt. This fight right here, this Arnold, forgot how to pronounce this guy's name. This fight right here was a fight that was supposed to get a little money in his pocket, right? This fight right here with Tony Bellew was supposed to be the payday. It's like, all right, now you can start building up, you know, and saving back up and don't go broke again, you know, allegedly, and maybe get a Joshua fight, or maybe Fury again, even though Fury said he would never fight you again unless there was some money in escrow, you know. And now, you know, that Tony Bellew rematch, because he couldn't retire. You see what I'm saying? Even though he had like an injury, of people like, okay, bro, hang it up. His last injury was a bicep injury. They're like, okay, bro, hang it up. You know, but David Haye still does have something, you know, still to offer to the 100 and to the heavyweight division. It's just that, you know, like I said before, the injury, you know, he was laying some hands on Tony Bellew, you know, and he was very aggressive. But I was thinking, you know, to myself also, it's like David Haye has put on a nice chunk of weight, you know, over that layoff. You know, what was it? At least 20 pounds or so, right? And his legs are so skinny. Maybe it's the little shorts, you know, that make it look like that, or little boots, you know, maybe, you know, but it's like, you know, you got all that, you know, that extra, you know, power. I mean, that extra weight and everything, but you got those little ass legs, bro, you know, so let's see, right? 224 for Bellew, 224, you know, 227. And then, you know, basically, 17 plus pounds, 18 pounds. You know, normally we knew David Haye, former cruiserweight, by the way, we knew him cruiserweight champion. We knew that, you know, he normally fought around 210 or so, you know, but, you know, now with that extra weight and everything he's got going on, you know, it's like, all right, man, you getting up there in age with the layoff, you know, this is really, 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 really a must win for him. Now, either way, you know, he'll get that payday, and Tony Bellew would get that payday. By the way, Tony Bellew is still WBC. Put it this way. If he ever decides, he could lose this fight, right? Go down to cruiserweight and be #1 contender for the WBC champion, who, by the way, if he chooses at that point in time, would have all the belts when the World Boxing Super Series is over. So Tony Bellew is in a good situation, win or loss. David Haye, not so much, because David Haye has options, you know, big money options. You know, he's still very entertaining, and also he's still very marketable. So he can fight, you know, Anthony Joshua. That fight is out there. It's a super fight over there. Another 90,000 Wembley fight over there, you know, in the UK. You know, he can fight Tyson Fury. That's a huge fight. Even people will say, oh, well, you know, he already done wobbled Deontay Wilder in camp. You know, he can try to go that route. You know, he has a lot of options, you know, but it all depends on this fight. And he's even talking about, you know, basically retiring again. But then again, you know, you can't really believe, you know, hey, David Haye, when he talks about retiring, it's like, all right, bro, because we know if you really retire this time, you got to stay gone, you know, but his body's shutting down, you know. And what if that toe shit come back? You know? It's so many different variables. But, you know, the fact that this fight is going to be happening in May is just still so far away. Like, we're in January, and when you think that it's going to literally be 14 months since these guys got into the ring, it's like, damn, like, for real? You know? That's a long-ass layoff, especially for Tony Bellew. You know, and at this point in time, you can see that, you know, David Haye just can't move. He can't move. He was falling all around. I don't know whose injury was worse, him or Sergio Martinez. You know, I don't know which one was worse. You know, so I'm wondering if maybe David Haye is going to possibly, you know, because of the past injury, maybe, you know, would it be wise for him to, you know, maybe come in, you know, about 5 to 10 pounds, you know, lighter? You know, just to, you know, make sure he's not putting as much pressure, you know. I don't know, you know. But, yeah, he was fucking David Haye up. David Haye couldn't move. He couldn't move. Anyway, it's going to be on May the 5th, 2018. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Let me tell you what happened with the first fight. I was sick. I was really, 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 really sick. It was the same day as Thurman versus Garcia. I was supposed to go to that. You know, so even though I watched the first fight, like I was literally like in a motherfucking hospital. But Anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. All the social media links have been popping up. They're also down in the description box. If you're willing and helping out in any type of way, shape, or form, like, for example, if you want to go to the David Haye, Tony Bellew media workout, this is happening in London, or any of the fights that's coming up, if you're a responsible individual, and you're serious and you want to make a little money and have your expenses paid, all you got to do is go there and do the work, contact me at info@FightView360, or you can contact me at editor@FightView360, or TstreetControversy@gmail. Just contact me. You got to make sure you leave your name, like where you're located, your work schedule, because a lot of these media events, like press conferences and everything, they happen in the daytime, around like noon or so, in your time. So you got to be flexible, but this is serious business here. And, I tried to, like show people the way before and to let them on, but they didn't take me seriously. Now now they want to take me serious, but it's too late. That's why we want new people to come in, and understand, like, what we're doing around here, this is not no small change anymore. People not laughing. So you know how to contact me. Please subscribe. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live.